Hello guys. Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today, we will dive deep into the swirling storm of drama surrounding Drew Cain in Port Charles, a man whose manipulative games have pushed nearly everyone to their breaking point. As tensions boil over, whispers of a deadly reckoning grow louder, with many speculating that Drew's days might be numbered. In this article, we'll explore the intricate web of betrayal, revenge, and hidden secrets that could lead to a shocking end for Drew, potentially on the very day he hopes to seal his future with Willow Corinthos. Buckle up as we unravel the motives of those who despise Drew, the high-stakes wedding plans, and the chilling possibility of a fatal ambush at the altar. The atmosphere in Port Charles has become suffocating with distrust, and at the center of it all stands Drew Cain, a man whose schemes have alienated even his closest allies. For months, Drew has played a dangerous game, pulling strings and exploiting vulnerabilities to maintain his grip on power. But patience is wearing thin, and the residents of Port Charles are no longer willing to be pawns in his twisted chessboard. From whispered conversations in dark corners to outright threats, the consensus is clear: Drew's reign of manipulation must come to an end. Some believe it's only a matter of time before someone snaps, driven by rage or desperation to ensure Drew can no longer wreak havoc. Could this be the dramatic turning point we've all anticipated, where Drew faces a consequence he can't charm or scheme his way out of? Drew's latest move at proposing to Willow Corinthos has sent shockwaves through the community, adding fuel to an already blazing fire. His insistence on a rushed marriage isn't just a romantic gesture, it's a calculated strategy. Drew has convinced Willow that tying the knot is her only path to regaining custody of her beloved children, exploiting her deepest fears and desires as a mother. Willow, vulnerable and desperate, seems to be falling for his promises, blindly trusting that Drew has her best interests at heart. However, this accelerated wedding timeline has raised eyebrows and suspicions. Is Drew truly in love, or is this another layer of his grand design to secure power and shield himself from mounting threats? As the wedding date looms, the clock is ticking, not just for their union, but possibly for Drew's very survival. Behind closed doors, plans are forming, and the streets of Port Charles buzz with speculation about who might seize this moment of vulnerability to strike. As Drew's wedding plans take shape, his laundry list of enemies grows longer by the day, each with a deeply personal reason to want him gone. Take Kai Taylor, for instance, who trusted Drew's advice on a risky surgery only to suffer a devastating setback. Kai's bitterness has transformed into a simmering rage, and he openly blames Drew for ruining his life. Then there's Trina Robinson, whose world has been shattered by Drew's ruthless blackmail, which tore apart her parents, Curtis Ashford and Dr. Portia Robinson. Trina's heartbreak is matched by her fury, and she's determined to see Drew pay for the pain he's inflicted on her family. Curtis and Portia too harbor their own grudges, having endured Drew's manipulative hold over their lives for far too long. The couple, once united in love, now find common ground in their shared desire to break free from Drew's influence by any means necessary. Each of these individuals carries a wound inflicted by Drew, and the wedding could provide the perfect stage for their revenge. Beyond this inner circle, others in Port Charles are equally entangled in Drew's web of deceit, their motives just as compelling. Michael Corinthos, fiercely protective of his children, faces renewed threats from Drew, who seems intent on destabilizing his family. Michael's patience has worn thin, and the idea of taking extreme measures to safeguard his loved ones grows more tempting by the day. Meanwhile, Carly Spencer and Sonny Corinthos, always ready to defend their family, view Drew as a direct danger to Michael and their grandchildren. Their history of ruthless decision-making suggests they wouldn't hesitate to eliminate a threat as persistent as Drew. Then there's Nina Reeves, whose own dark secrets are at risk of exposure. Drew holds damning information about Nina's role in drugging him with ketamine, and she knows that if Willow learns the truth, her relationship with her daughter could be destroyed. For Nina, silencing Drew isn't just about revenge, it's about survival. With so many players holding grudges, the question isn't if someone will act, but who will be the first to pull the trigger. Amidst this brewing storm, Drew remains oblivious or perhaps arrogantly confident as he orchestrates an elaborate last-minute wedding to Willow. Determined to make the day a spectacle, Drew spares no expense, envisioning a ceremony that fulfills every romantic fantasy Willow might have. Lavish floral arrangements, a stunning venue overlooking the Port Charles skyline, and a custom-designed gown for Willow are just the beginning. Drew's attention to detail is almost obsessive, as if crafting the perfect wedding will somehow erase the chaos he's caused. Yet, beneath the surface of this fairy tale setup lies a deadly undercurrent. As guests gather and the hour approaches, an unseen hand prepares for a moment of reckoning. While Drew stands at the altar, awaiting his bride with a smug smile, danger lurks in the shadows. The question on everyone's mind is whether this day of celebration will end in tragedy. In a heart-stopping twist, as Willow prepares to walk down the aisle, a gunshot rings out, shattering the serene wedding scene. Drew collapses, struck down in a moment that no one saw coming, yet everyone secretly expected. Gasps of horror echo through the venue as chaos erupts, guests scatter, and accusations fly. Who pulled the trigger? Was it Kai, seeking justice for his ruined health? Could Trina, Curtis, or Portia have orchestrated this act to avenge their broken family? Perhaps Michael, Carly, or Sonny decided to protect their own at any cost. Or did Nina, desperate to bury her past, take the ultimate step to ensure her secrets remain hidden? The possibilities are endless, and the mystery deepens as Drew's fate hangs in the balance. Is this truly the end for Drew Cain, or will he defy the odds and survive this brutal attack? If he does, what new vendettas will emerge from this violent act? The aftermath of this shocking event will undoubtedly reshape the landscape of Port Charles, leaving scars that may never heal. As investigators comb through the wreckage of the wedding, every guest becomes a suspect, and every motive is scrutinized. The once joyous occasion now serves as a grim reminder of how far resentment and betrayal can push even the most steadfast souls. Will the shooter be unmasked? And if so, what consequences will they face? More importantly, if Drew survives, will he emerge humbled, or will this near-death experience only fuel his hunger for revenge? Next, we will delve into the electrifying developments awaiting us in Port Charles from June 23 to 27, 2025. With Drew Cain Quartermain at the heart of a whirlwind of romance, deception, and dangerous secrets. As proposals, confessions, and betrayals unfold, the residents of this tumultuous town brace themselves for life-altering revelations. Join us as we explore Drew's calculated move to propose to Willow Tate, Christina Corinthos Davis's spiraling panic, and a host of other gripping storylines that promise to keep us on the edge of our seats. From custody battles to shattered marriages, every corner of Port Charles is buzzing with tension, and we're here to break down every juicy detail with fresh insights and imaginative twists. Let's kick things off with the brewing storm surrounding Drew Cain Quartermain, who is poised to make a life-changing proposal to Willow Tate. This isn't just a gesture of love but a carefully orchestrated tactic born from a conversation with his cunning lawyer, Martin Gray. Drew believes that marrying Willow could be the key to resolving lingering custody disputes, presenting them as a united front in any future legal battles. However, beneath this strategic veneer lies a deeper obsession: Drew's almost possessive desire to claim Willow as his own, now that her divorce is finalized after a harrowing court hearing. Picture this: Drew, dressed impeccably in a tailored suit, orchestrating a seemingly romantic moment by the serene Port Charles harbor, with fairy lights twinkling in the background. Yet, as he offers Willow a dazzling ring, his words carry a transactional undertone, subtly weaving in promises of security with barely veiled declarations of love. Will Willow see through the gaslighting and manipulation, or will her desperation to secure her future cloud her judgment? The answer to his proposal hangs in the balance, setting the stage for a dramatic turning point. Meanwhile, Christina Corinthos Davis finds herself drowning in a sea of panic, and for good reason, as her darkest secrets threaten to surface. On Wednesday, June 18th, Elizabeth Weber confronts Christina with a bombshell as knows that Christina sabotaged Rick Lansing's lines, an act that nearly cost Liz her life, leaving her with a broken leg and a grueling recovery process. Imagine the tension in the room as Liz locks eyes with Christina at the hospital cafeteria, her voice low but firm, accusing Christina of the reckless act that changed her life. Christina's heart races, fearing that Liz might turn her over to the police, unaware that Lucky Spencer has already persuaded Liz against pressing charges. Despite this reprieve, Christina's unraveling mental state suggests she's on the brink of a breakdown. Her unhinged behavior begs for a harsh reality check, as her actions ripple through her relationships. Will Liz's decision to hold back offer Christina a chance at redemption, or will her guilt and fear drive her to more desperate measures? Elsewhere, the emotional stakes are just as high for Sasha Gilmore and Michael Corinthos as they navigate the delicate future of their newborn daughter, Daisy. Michael, still reeling from the intensity of his custody battle with Willow, approaches this conversation with palpable anxiety, fearing that Sasha might attempt to sideline him in Daisy's life. Picture them sitting in the cozy nursery of Sasha's apartment, the soft glow of a mobile casting shadows on the walls, as Michael hesitantly voices his concerns. However, Sasha's demeanor suggests otherwise. Know that Michael has secured custody in his other legal fight. She seems less inclined to push him away. After all, she once allowed hitman Jason Morgan to pose as Daisy's father, a decision that dismisses any lingering concerns about mob ties. Their dialogue is laden with unspoken trust and past pain, but could this be the moment they forge a new understanding for Daisy's sake? The complexities of their bond add a tender yet uncertain layer to Port Charles's drama. In another corner of town, Curtis Ashford bares his soul to Jordan Ashford in a heart-rending conversation about the crumbling state of his marriage to Portia Robinson. The couple's once solid foundation has been eroded by layers of deception, with Portia's repeated lies becoming an insurmountable barrier for Curtis. Envision them meeting at a quiet diner on the outskirts of Port Charles, rain streaking down the windows as Curtis admits that reconciliation might be beyond reach. Despite his efforts to shield Portia from Drew's manipulative schemes, including reluctantly agreeing to write a damning article about Michael's custody battle, Curtis feels betrayed one too many times. This emotional fracture opens a tantalizing possibility, a rekindled connection with Jordan, who has long harbored feelings for him. Jordan listens with a mix of empathy and quiet hope, sensing an opportunity to reclaim what they once had. Will Curtis's heartbreak pave the way for a second chance with Jordan, or will lingering loyalties to Portia hold him back? The ripple effects of Drew's actions continue to stir unrest, particularly with Trina Robinson, who unleashes her pent-up rage about him to her mother, Portia. Trina's hatred for Drew burns fiercely, fueled by his meddling in her family's affairs, and she can barely contain her disdain as she speaks. Imagine Trina pacing in their family living room, her voice trembling with anger as she recounts Drew's latest transgressions, hinting at explosive information Kai Taylor overheard, tales so damaging they could upend lives if exposed. Meanwhile, Trina and Kai receive significant news that could either deepen their resolve against Drew or complicate their plans. The undercurrents of betrayal and retribution swirl around Trina, making her a wild card in this unfolding saga. How far will her anger push her, and what secrets might she and Kai uncover that could change everything? Adding to the chaos is Cody Bell, whose flirtations with Ava Jerome at the local pool take a questionable turn as part of a seduction scheme orchestrated by Christina. Picture Cody, all charm and sly smiles, lounging by the water with Ava, his casual banter masking a transactional agenda he's being paid to win her affections. A move that teeters on the edge of ethical boundaries. While this might not be the darkest deed in Cody's checkered past, it raises questions about his moral compass. Is he merely playing a role for the cash, or are genuine feelings beginning to blur the lines of his mission? Ava, unaware of the deception, seems captivated by his attention, setting the stage for potential heartbreak or explosive fallout when the truth inevitably emerges. This subplot weaves a thread of intrigue into the already tangled web of Port Charles relationships. Finally, tension escalates as Dr. Isaiah Gannon issues a stern warning to Rick Lansing, likely tied to protecting Elizabeth Weber in the absence of Lucky Spencer. Envision a charged encounter outside the hospital, Isaiah's tone icy as he cautions Rick to stay away from Liz, his protective instincts kicking into high gear. Rick, however, isn't one to be easily intimidated. Someone like Jason Morgan seems capable of instilling true fear in him. Rick's defiance hints at simmering conflicts yet to erupt, as Isaiah's involvement adds a new dynamic to Liz's circle of allies. Will Rick heed the warning, or will his stubbornness ignite a confrontation that draws others into the fray? This clash of wills promises to inject even more drama into an already volatile week. As we look ahead to June 23 to 27, 2025, Port Charles stands on the precipice of monumental change, with Drew's proposal to Willow acting as a catalyst for a cascade of emotional and dangerous developments. From Christina's spiraling guilt to Curtis's fractured marriage, and from Michael and Sasha's delicate negotiations to Cody's deceptive game. Every storyline brims with potential for heartbreak and revelation. What will Willow say to Drew's calculated proposal? And how will it reshape their futures? Can Christina escape the consequences of her actions, or will her panic lead to further chaos? Next, we will uncover the mysterious undercurrents swirling around Port Charles as whispers of Nell Benson's possible return send shockwaves through the community. With eerie parallels drawn between Willow Tate's recent behavior and that of her notorious twin sister, and a shadowy figure stalking little Daisy Corinthos, the town braces for a potentially sinister plot. Could Nell, long thought to be out of the picture, be the mastermind behind this unsettling mystery? In this in-depth exploration, we'll dive into the chilling details of the stalker storyline, the suspicions surrounding Willow, and the haunting possibility of Nell's vengeful comeback, complete with fresh twists and imaginative elements to heighten the drama. The air in Port Charles has grown thick with suspicion lately, as chatter about Nell Benson resurfaces with startling intensity. Residents and fans alike can't help but notice the unsettling similarities between Willow Tate's recent erratic actions and the devious tendencies of her twin sister, Nellie, a woman whose name still evokes shivers down the spine. Nell's history of manipulation and chaos lingers like a dark cloud, and with strange events unfolding around Michael Corinthos' family, her specter looms larger than ever. Could this be mere coincidence, or is there a more malevolent force at play, pulling strings from the shadows? As we peel back the layers of this enigma, the possibility of Nell's return feels less like a far-fetched theory and more like a chilling inevitability waiting to unravel lives once again. The mystery deepened during the Wednesday, June 18th episode, when an alarming incident at General Hospital set tongues wagging. Picture the scene: Sasha Corbin, recuperating in her hospital bed, eagerly awaiting a tender moment with her newborn, Daisy Corinthos. Nurses bustle through the sterile corridors, but a startling error occurs and brings the wrong baby from the nursery to Sasha's room. Though the mix-up is swiftly corrected, the mistake casts a long shadow of doubt over the hospital's security. Sasha's relief at holding Daisy is palpable, yet the incident plants a seed of unease. Was this simply human error, or the first breadcrumb in a much larger, more sinister trail? As whispers of negligence spread among the staff, patients, and visitors, many can't shake the feeling that this blunder foreshadows a darker storyline, one that could threaten the safety of an innocent child. The tension escalates as Sasha, Daisy, Michael Corinthos, and his other children, Wiley and Amelia, share a heartwarming family moment in the hospital's quiet garden area, unaware of the danger lurking nearby. Under the late afternoon sun, with daisies blooming in neatly tended beds, the family laughs over Wiley's playful antics, trying to regain a sense of normalcy. But unbeknownst to them, a mysterious figure watches from behind a cluster of trees, their presence undetected yet ominously felt. The camera lingers on a pair of gloved hands clutching a small, worn photograph, perhaps a memento of a past connection to the Corinthos family. Who is this stranger, and what drives their fixation on Daisy? The eerie surveillance hints at a potential escalation from mere stalking to something far more harrowing, like a kidnapping plot straight out of a nightmare. This unseen threat casts a pall over the family's fleeting joy, leaving viewers gripped with anticipation and dread. As this unsettling stalker narrative unfolds, suspicion naturally falls on Willow Tate, whose fragile mental state has become a topic of heated discussion in Port Charles. Willow's world shattered when she lost custody of Wiley and Amelia, the emotional blow triggering a public meltdown that left her vulnerable and unpredictable. Imagine her pacing alone in her dimly lit apartment, surrounded by scattered photographs of her children, her eyes hollow with grief as she grapples with the void in her life. Many in town, including close friends and wary neighbors, speculate that Willow's obsession with regaining her family could have morphed into something darker, a desperate fixation on Daisy, Michael's newest child. Rumors swirl that Willow might be experiencing blackouts, pockets of time she can't account for, leading some to believe she could be acting out without even realizing it. Her recent erratic behavior at a local diner, where she was seen muttering to herself while staring at a baby stroller, only fuels these theories. But is Willow truly capable of such a sinister act, or is she merely a convenient scapegoat in a much larger scheme? While Willow remains the obvious suspect in the eyes of many, seasoned fans of General Hospital know that in mysteries like this, the most apparent culprit is rarely the true villain. This brings us to the haunting possibility that Nell Benson, Willow's estranged and malevolent twin, could be the shadowy figure behind Daisy's stalking. Nell's past is a tapestry of bitterness and betrayal, marked by her inability to bond with Wiley during his infancy and her deep-seated resentment toward Michael and Willow. Envision Nell, cloaked in darkness, standing outside the hospital with a cold smirk, plotting her next move. Her motives could be twofold: a twisted desire to claim a piece of the childhood she missed with Wiley by targeting Daisy, and a vengeful urge to frame Willow, the sister she's always despised, for her crimes. Perhaps Nell has spent months in hiding, reinventing herself with a new identity, maybe even befriending unsuspecting locals under a false name like Ellen Baxter, all while meticulously planning her return. Such a comeback would not only shatter the fragile peace in Port Charles but also reopen old wounds with devastating precision. The potential return of Nell Benson introduces a labyrinth of questions and chilling possibilities that could redefine relationships in Port Charles. If Nell is indeed behind the stalking, her obsession with Daisy might stem from a warped need to rewrite her own tragic history as a mother, seeing the infant as a second chance to possess what she lost. Picture her keeping a hidden scrapbook filled with stolen snapshots of Daisy, each image annotated with delusional notes about their future together. Meanwhile, framing Willow would be the ultimate act of spite, a way to destroy her twin's life while exacting revenge on Michael for past grievances. The thought of Nell orchestrating such a diabolical plan from the shadows, perhaps even collaborating with an unknown accomplice who owes her a favor, adds a layer of complexity to this unfolding drama. How long has she been watching, waiting for the perfect moment to strike? And what other chaos might she unleash upon her reveal? As the stalker storyline teeters on the brink of becoming a full-blown kidnapping saga, the residents of Port Charles remain on edge and aware of the true danger in their midst. The Corinthos family, desperate to protect Daisy, might soon install security cameras around their estate, hire private investigators, or even enlist Jason Morgan's formidable skills to track down the mysterious watcher. Community gatherings at places like Kelly's Diner buzz with theories, with some patrons whispering about Willow's breakdowns while others dredge up Nell's notorious past, wondering if a ghost has truly come back to haunt them. The hospital, still reeling from the nursery mix-up, tightens its protocols, but the fear of another breach lingers. Will the truth about the stalker's identity emerge before irreversible harm is done, or will Daisy become the innocent victim of a long-buried vendetta? The stakes couldn't be higher as this mystery grips the heart of Port Charles. What do you think about this spine-chilling turn of events? Is Nell Benson truly back from the shadows to wreak havoc on Michael, Willow, and their family? Or is there another unexpected player in this dangerous game? Could Willow's mental struggles have pushed her to actions she can't recall, or will she be vindicated as an innocent caught in a cruel setup? Join the conversation in the comments below and share your theories about who's stalking Daisy Corinthos and what their ultimate goal might be. Stay tuned to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel for all the latest updates as we unravel this captivating mystery together, piece by gripping piece, in the ever-dramatic world of Port Charles.